Episode 1222.
So I get stabbed by Lucifer, right? So I get stabbed by the way, you know, if you don't want to know the score, don't go down to the pub. If you haven't seen the episode, you're about 5 years too late, so screw you all. So episode 22, right? Episode 22, I get stabbed by Lucifer. There's a massive problem with that. Problem being is I don't spark out, and of course they use this clever little trick that they used so many times before, where they have me jump out to an animal, or let me jump out to a rat. Okay, so alright, so let me jump out to a rat. Of course I'm phobic. I'm actually rat phobic, which is not a good thing. So I managed to handle it. I didn't particularly like the rat. It wasn't a particularly pleasant rat. It had a funny accent. I like the hamster. So we did that, and then I was literally sitting there going, this doesn't make any sense, because Lucifer knows I'm not dead, so therefore this is a problem. So, I think, no, that was 21, that was episode 21, so it was 12:21. 12:23, which is the finale, hadn't been written fully yet. And I got a copy of 12:23 to read, and I knew I was done, but there's an old thing called the Mochko rule, where you don't tell an actor he's dead until he dies, in case he sets fires at the set or has a tantrum or does something, which is just the way it goes, and I knew that, but I'd already planned, and I'd said my goodbyes to everybody that I needed to, and I was very comfortable with the idea. So, all positive, all good. So I get the script, and with all due respect to Andrew, it was to me not something that I enjoyed. I read it and I didn't like the tone or the content of what Crowley was talking about in this episode towards his end. And I very carefully worded with my wife's help a very long email to Andrew thanking him for everything he'd done for me to this point, and said that, you know, Crowley doesn't care about this stuff. He doesn't care about Fergus. He doesn't care about any of this other stuff that got sort of shoved in to make a story that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I sent him a copy of Rutger Hauer as Roy in Blade Runner, doing the famous speech of time to die. You know, I've seen things you humans will believe, etc. But it's incredible thing. And I said, look, you know, you can leave me dead in 21. It'll be a wonderful shot, but it's just actually spark me out and have me dead in 21. It's like they've been done in post. And I was like, I really, with all due respect, I don't care. I don't care about what this stuff is in this part of the story. And he said, no. I emailed back about 6 or 8 in the morning, going, no, this is just a placeholder, don't worry. And he proceeded to write my dialogue for the last episode as a complete rewrite of almost everything that I wanted. I had everything in there. And I'd explain this whole thing of what Crowley is tired of is winning. Just winning. There's nothing to it, really. It just keeps winning, even when... And this has been a fundamental theme that I've been going on for years, that Jeremy would write me into a corner brilliantly, and I'd go, well, you do realise I'm going to play it, so I knew this was going to happen. He goes, yeah, we expect you to do that every time. So, you know, stuff with Cain was that wonderful thing the director came up to me and goes, so you're afraid of Cain, right? And I went, I have a healthy disrespect for him, but afraid of him? No, it's just something I need to manipulate and get to a certain point with, because my goal is Demon D. My goal is to continue this situation, and it started to cotton on that I was going to play it how I wanted to play it, even if it was written a certain way. And they gave me a lot of latitude with that, which I always appreciated. And so ultimately, I told him, even when I lose, I win. I mean, Crowley never loses, that's the point. He's kind of sick and bored of the whole trudging through this chaos, and if people just listen to it, their lives have been a lot easier. That's how I feel in life, generally. But, so he rewrote it with all amazing respect to that. He rewrote it and gave me this. And so in the middle of the episode, there's me and the Men of Letters, and I have this massive speech. And in that speech, I just keep on winning and winning and winning. And it's in the middle of this massive speech. And one of our executive producers, who at this point was an speech. I couldn't work out why. And he said like, oh, can you just like move upstage during that bit? And I'm like, why? And he started shouting at me. It was really funny. He goes, well, nobody wants to listen to you speak for like 5 minutes. I said, I don't know, I've been on the Emmy ballot a few times for that. People didn't get bored with it. I said, fine, I'll do my best. So I did my, it was a good little trooper, I did my best to do that. And of course, what happens? That's the bit they cut out. He wanted to have a cutting point to get rid of the speech, which was my part of the speech. So he cut it out. I didn't find that out till the end. So I did this, and then in my end conversation with Lucifer, he goes, you know you're going to lose. And therefore my point is saying, funny you should say that. Because even if I lose, I win, right? And then goodbye boys, and then terminate myself, which is the only way to go out, to change the situation. And I said my goodbyes, and I did my stuff, and I went home. And I went to do ADR on that, and they cut that out. And they cut that whole chunk out. It was a little bit of spite. And they cut it out, and they didn't let me have it. They didn't let me have money. I was like, okay. So I then did a charity show and raised money for diabetes with it. So I always thought that was funny. So that's why, even when I lose, I win. It means a lot to me, because it's my line. I own some of the other lines, because they were circumstantial. But most of the stuff I ever got to say that was any good was written. And it was, you know, it's a great testament to the writers we had. They wrote me some extraordinary stuff, as difficult as it is to say or make sense of sometimes. You know, I get up in the morning and go, oh God, no one in history tortures me, torture, like the torture you'll be tortured with. And it ends with a preposition. And that's going to annoy the hell out of me when I say it. No one in history is tortured, torture with. Torture with. We could go on for an hour if you wanted to. And then the complication of Elena not knowing how to use a handgun and really shooting me on camera. And then, of course, facing the people I was saying that to completely across the room from somebody else I'm having a conversation with. So I have to say that as an aside to 12 people at the table while I'm dealing with her. It becomes this fun circus of things to do, which I enjoy doing. That's my idea of fun on a set. But yeah, I definitely, whether it was DC or San Francisco, it was San Francisco, right? Where the paddles. Where the paddles were was DC, right? So they just blended together for me. But everybody had the paddles. I thought the paddles are fantastic. And I had forgotten some of these lines that people had written for me. But I remembered the context as I was walking through the crowd, holding them up really sheepishly. It was rather lovely. And I just read them and I go, oh yeah, of course, that was that. That's happened with that. That was with Kevin. And, you know, that's how I show love and all that fun stuff about torture. I was laughing about that, the Kevin scene where, you know, I cut off his finger. I just remember Robin, the props girl, going, what do you want? You want a drink? What do you want? I said, what do you got? She goes, I have a pinwheel. I'm like, cool! So that became the focus of that. And then we had that terrible day where I was doing a convention in Chicago. Massive hall, it was like 3 times the size of this hall. And the microphone was down about 50 yards, and there was this really pretty girl, long blonde hair, dressed as Crowley. And she had a pinwheel, which was just a great prompt to have. And she asked me a question. And I couldn't see her really well, so I was messing with her. I couldn't see her face really well, distance. And so I jumped off the stage, it was a long way down, ran out, stole her pinwheel, and came back to the stage, and continued my conversation with Claire. And that was fine. She stayed at the mic, and after about 3 minutes, she was still at the mic, and she was like, "Can I have my pinwheel back?" She went, no, but here was the thing. I was like, no, and we continued with our stuff. And eventually, she went away, and I had the pinwheel with me, and we went backstage, and said, "Thank you, blah 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 blah," and I handed it off to you, believe it or not. And I went away, and then when I got back to my desk to sign. There she was, with her aunt. And what had happened was because I couldn't see she was in distress, because she was too far away from me. I had misread her connection I thought she was just using it as a prop. It was funny, and it actually had a great deal of meaning to her. And I couldn't tell that she was in distress at the time. So one time I made a big mistake, and she goes, "Can I have my pinwheel back, please?" Very bravely, and I went, "I'm really sorry, I've handed it off." And actually, I just wanted to try. I didn't dump you in it. And I was like, and Rhiannon was looking after me. I realised that I said, "Look, I'll get you another pinwheel or whatever." She goes, "That's fine, can I have my pinwheel back?" And she couldn't. It was one of those things she couldn't let go. I made a massive mistake, and I felt terrible about us. So as much fun as I was having at you guys' expense, I made somebody's day awful, and Rhiannon spent 2 hours tracking it down, found it, and gave it back to her. And she literally went, "Thanks." And I was like,